Dreamscape presents Wondering Who You Are by Sonya Lea, narrated by the author. For our children. I'm working on my own life story. I don't mean I'm putting it together. No, I'm taking it apart. Margaret Atwood. Author's note. To write this book, I utilized my journals written in the hospital and the early years of recovery. I also relied upon hospital records, letters to and from friends, family and colleagues, doctors and therapists' notes and reports, legal depositions, and in some cases, interviews with people mentioned in the book. Richard's perspective was created through his own writing on various subjects, as well as interviews on subjects I might not have otherwise known. I have changed the names of many people in the book, but not all of them, and in some cases I modified identifying details so as to preserve anonymity. I omitted some people and events when it had no impact on the veracity or substance of the story. Prologue. 8 years later, in the first hour of July 2nd, 2011, an immense silvery light comes into our bedroom. My husband sleeps near the door. I'm reluctantly on the left. He needs to be the man. He needs to remember what he has forgotten. He needs me to want him where he is. What he has is a body freshly absent of cancer, an acquired brain injury, a scar down his middle, a gap where the memories of our life used to be, a kind, childlike smile, and a wife who thinks she's a badass. The light saturates the midnight room, a bolt the speed of lightning, a brilliant flash, ordinary blackness. We raise our heads and breathe. There is no thunder. Part 1. 1. Waking. The night before my husband's cancer surgery, I stay up to watch him sleep. In the featureless hotel room, I think of our first meeting, our college breakup, our marriage, our honeymoon, our reunions, our children's births. We have been married for 23 years. I have been a child and a woman with this man. To imagine his death is to imagine the end of myself. I cannot know this loss. Instead, I will us to live with the kind of fierce presence I've never before achieved. I watch, I wait, I witness. By 5 a.m. he's signing paperwork and I'm sipping stale coffee in the hospital lobby. Every room has a television. Every television resounds with a cheery morning news show. He's moved to pre-op. He goes in to change into his hospital gown. Soon a nurse calls my name and hands me a large white plastic bag marked Personal Belongings. The bag is heavy with his size 13 running shoes, and tall-legged Levi's jeans, and wallets stuffed with discount cards. I don't want to be left holding this dismal bag in the fluorescent waiting room with the televisions blaring Montel Williams and Judge Judy in a bizarre symphony while I clasp the last of his scent. A few minutes later, I'm called to the curtained space where Richard is being prepared for surgery. His body spills over the sides of the gurney. We've waited 46 days for this moment, assessing every medical paper, learning all we could from others with this same horrific rare disease. I think of where Richard might go in the time his body is open to the doctors and nurses doing their work. I hope he'll be in a dream, like the ones he has about running and flying and climbing, and not like the ones I have, which are about the end of the world. His long, summer-tan legs stretch from beneath a mint green gown. A drip is flowing into his arm. He's suddenly scared. I stare straight into his eyes. Steady, smiling, subdued. You're going to be okay, I lie. You need to say goodbye, says the nurse. I kiss him like we aren't being watched. A tear descends across his cheekbone. I walk back to the surgical waiting room and nod to my sister, who has come to be with us for the first week. Christy is a nurse.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?